to this moment that we have to share together. I was preparing for this practice today in such a way that I put myself to sleep. I think that I had been conjuring sort of the, I guess not the energy as much as the thought process of what I wanted to speak about, but also how I wanted to use the body to move in the same way or theme with the same intention. And it literally put me right out. Like I set a timer. I was like, all right, I can do this. So I set a timer so much that, or so little that I actually didn't set go. I slept as much as I needed to. And this actually follows right into the direction of the theme that I meant to talk about, which was self-preservation. I was listening to a podcast about people in Norway. I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. And the analysis of what it is to thrive in a time where it's darker, it's colder, and the suggestion or the inkling of practices is to be more indoors, just as we are, and just as we probably have been even longer than the cold has really arrived. And some of the I guess tactics they use to remain joyful are coming from the cues that are in their everyday field, right? Their reference. So the reference in my direction of scrambled talking is with darkness, right? So what does the body know, or what does it feel, or how does it respond when the lights go out? If you're like me, and I believe that we're all similar this way, when it gets darker, we get sleepier, right? Your body is actually designed, your brain in sort of its most sort of primitive, but also its elite form, takes the cue of darkness to say, this is time to regenerate. You don't always have to go to sleep, but it actually does tell you to bring it down, right? So yes, we live in modern times and technology is always flashing and brightly kind of stimulating us to bring it up. And of course our diets and whatever it is that we consume that is sort of developed might also always be kind of pushing us back onto a higher ground, but naturally, right? So if we think in the time that we've been in the pandemic and maybe in lockdown, we have been sort of drawn back to some of our roots, right? Come back to sit in your home, sit more in your solitude, right? To feel yourself and name those feelings that you're going through. Be more discreet, be more pleasant, and be more forgiving. So right now, the darkness is telling me, bring it down. So I want to do again, like we did in the practice the other day, which actually turned out to be a little more powerful, but start from a lower place and see if maybe there's some energy that's accessed there that is, it's richer, it's finer, and we're in the sort of creative part of our circadian rhythm. So I'd like to sort of tap into what does that mean, right? What does it access from the right side of their brain? Let's do it together. Close your eyes for a moment. We'll take 3 breaths to open our space, to open our body. Inhaling and exhaling. Whatever is hung around from the earlier part of the day, release. One more inhale. Feel the service of that inhale drawing into some of those little creakier, quieter places, and on the exhale, softness. So we welcome it in. We allow the hands to appreciate and bow down to the greater part of ourselves, which is powerful, which is forgiving, which is also enlightened and fulfilling. So we draw into that to find that place where we are. Okay, at the heart. Make sure, again, no matter what, even if we're not out in the sun, hydrate. And I also just noticed the plant that's right next to me right now seems kind of dry, so I'm gonna give my plant a little bit of my water. There's more where that came from. Today's music will be brought to you by Feist. Alexa, play. Okay, we are starting from the floor. I mean this to be a half an hour practice. Let's see if I can stick to that. Coming to the floor. This is a mobility thing I've been doing for the last year or so, and it comes from a lot of influence, and there are a lot of great people really talking through flexibility, mobility, strength, combination, all of it, global body, right? Interest, your mind is part of that, right? Your body gets fluid, you get more open and strong, and so does your mind. Maybe it's vice versa, maybe they are going hand in hand, I don't know, right? So I'm keeping my left leg relatively stable, and I'm just gonna slowly, as much as possible, try to keep both my sit bones on the floor, and I'm taking my right knee, and I'm just tipping it in, so that's an inner rotation, right? We know that, we've talked about it before, and you can let it pause, it can be slow, you can assist with your hands, it's not a force, so I'm not shoving. Okay, I'm sweeping, switching, taking it out to the side. I can really feel that, and the struggle is to keep my other sit bone down to the floor. Sweep again. Ooh. My legs are really enjoying this for a lot of reasons, which I often talk about, not brag about, but you know, when I go to the gym, if I want to do something like, and I mean to do it well, I often go hard, maybe big is a better word, big, and lately it's been getting bigger, so I'm trying to, you know, represent. So this has been about 4 passes, just me, just kind of working one leg, and you know, putting care and breath and precision into the turns and the change, right? Craftsmanship, if you will. Let's switch legs. Now it's my left leg. Okay. This music, I believe she is Canadian. I also know that she lives in France, I believe. And she's very fun and playful. I haven't listened to her in a long time, and a lot of the new music that is coming out sounds nothing like this. So it's been a nice little journey down my memory lane of music interests. Okay, so we've hit them both on each side about 3 or 4 times. Now we're gonna do both knees. So now this is gonna take us a little bit more into the pelvis. You're gonna take your knees to the right and your heart to the left. And then you're gonna inhale them up to exhale, knees left, and heart, chest goes right. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more times. So 2 more times to the right, knees to the right, heart to the left. Knees to the left, heart to the right. So this you could be doing on your own at times when you're feeling like maybe your energy clock, one more time to the right, is getting a little bit sort of slow or quiet, or you know, you still have a lot to do in your day and you don't know how you're gonna get there, but you don't wanna have a coffee or any of those other uppers, which I enjoy, so I'm not knocking that, if that's your choice. This is a great way. So we've gone right and left, now we're in the center. Knees are bent. I'm tipping back behind my sit bones so my feet get light. I'm gonna take my arms in between my legs so I can go either towards my big toes or hold your shins or ankles, or maybe you're ready to hold the outsides of your feet. Just practicing a little playful moment to giggle, and the giggle usually comes out of this one if you tip back or forward unexpectedly. So you might notice that you know, any shift of thinking or in sort of the severity or depth of your breath could really alter how you balance right here, which is usually the case, right? Okay, so knees are bending again. We have that same sort of low-seated, wide feet position. I'm gonna take my knees to the right, as are you, and you're gonna turn your heart to the right also, and take your hands to the mat. Then you're gonna let your left leg stretch out behind you. And then my toes are tucked. I've got this sort of awkward feeling version of a pigeon pose. And then I'm gonna step this back to a 3-legged dog with an open hip. Right, and you You decide whether you want to bend that knee. Okay, you bring it back. When your knee comes forward, you're going to the left so it lands where you started, to the side of the mat. And you come back through the middle. And we do the same thing the other way. So I'm turning my knees to the left, taking my hands to the mat, and then stretching my right leg back behind you. So you're gonna have to manage that one a little bit. I've got to be a little more specific with my toes because sometimes they feel a little cranky lately. So there, so you get this little moment. I'm gonna lift my knee so you get a little opening in the front of the hip flexor, in the front of that thigh, and then you lift to open, left leg, hip open. I'm bending my knee. You could even circle the foot and give it a little bit more cuteness. Okay, reverse, just kind of follow the breath. The knee goes towards that right wrist, and the right knee bends, and here you are in the center again. Again, behind the sit bones, towards the feet or ankles. And so this is a wide straddly version. It's not the widest, a little bit wider than my hips. It's a wider version of a high boat, but you're holding with your hands, right? So you could challenge yourself to keep the legs in this position and let go of the feet. Woo! And do a couple of wrist rolls, right? One direction, and then the other, right? A little flash of the fingers, flash, flash, right? Awesome. Bend the knees. Going to the right again. First the knees, second the hands, then the left leg, straighten the knee. So you get this nice little moment here. I'm gonna bend my elbows so you get this version of a chaturanga. So now when you straighten the arms, you get that burst, that feel of really pushing off of a chaturanga back into a three-legged dog open. And this one's kind of a cranky version of a wild thing, I'm calling it. So you're gonna keep both hands to the floor. Your hips will go down just a little bit. Tap the floor with the toe. Pick it back up. Pull the knee in. First pull it up towards your left tricep, and then bring your knee to the floor, okay? Then you're back in the middle. To the left. Knees go to the left first. Heart follows. Hands to the floor. Right leg, tuck the toes, lift the knee. Okay, remember, chaturanga the arms first. You lean into the hands, level out those collarbones, push the floor away. Feels like you're picking up the left leg and opening. And then as you turn over that right hip, right, you turn that right heel over, keep both hands to the floor, you drop the hips just a little bit to tap the floor with the toes, pick it back up, pull the knee up towards your tricep, and then place it on the floor. We're back to the middle, and then yes, 3 times a charm. So here we are behind the sit bones, go for the feet, and lift the legs. And so since this is the third one, and I mean to get a little bit higher up, so we'll do some standing poses, let's kind of play this in a little, I guess this is kind of a Janu Shirshasana shape. So you're gonna bend the left knee, tuck it in like you were gonna go into a half lotus, or as if you're gonna take it to a seated position, and your right leg is straight. This is just kind of a cute and creative way to stay in your balance, stay in your center, but be asymmetrical, be awkward, right? Hopefully it's not too uncomfortable. Ooh, that's fun, right? Feeling the wakeful energy already, right? Natural access into your evening rhythms, right? Over the right shoulder. Knees, hands, left leg, bend the elbows, open the hips, three-legged dog. Okay, so here's that little awkward, that cranky tap to touch. Take the foot up, and you're gonna step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Okay, pick up the right arm up to the sky. Awesome. Right here, now when you reach your right arm forward, you're gonna lean into your left hand, your right heel, and tuck your left knee to touch. Okie dokie, step it back. You're gonna pick this up to a twisted, high lunge. Okay? Take your right hand back towards your left leg, and your left arm just goes up to the sky. So this is a cute thing that I've been practicing or playing with. So the idea, now you're gonna come into a warrior 2, Right, this is gonna be a little bit sort of funny. You're gonna kick your arms up, straighten your right leg, lean into that left leg, go back to three-legged dog. And this is how we get back now. You're gonna take that left knee towards your right wrist, take the left leg out, and here's your fallen warrior. Right, so if you're feeling really kind of like you wanted to get, I'm bending my right knee to get to the floor, and here I am back in my seat. Okay, go for that high boat again. Guess we're not entirely done with this. All right, so when we go into the cranky version of the wild thing, I know that a lot of people really want to blast into that opening. But these sort of graceful ways that we'll take our time. We'll use our evening energy, and we'll use that fallen warrior to sort of see how we can monitor our length while we open up our strength. Right, so I'm going for that left bent knee again, and switching. Right bent knee, left leg is straight. Both legs, maybe you're getting a little bit wider stance, a little bit more lifted chest. That's where it gets more tippy on those sit bones. Ha, bend the knees. Second side, knees to the left, hands to the mat. Right leg, straighten the knee, bend the elbows. Okay, push the floor away, open hip first, three-legged dog, and then that little cranky tap to step. Right, pick it back up, and step that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Okay, left arm goes up and open. Awesome, pretty good. And very gently pressing into that left foot, let that pick you up. Here's your twisted high lunge. Okay, left hand back towards the right leg and right arm up. And this is not too sort of off the cuff because we did it already, but right, when we open that to warrior two, right, you're gonna lift up, left leg straightens, and that's when we fall into our right leg. This is gonna draw us back to a three-legged dog. Open. You can bring your knee towards that left tricep, then straighten the leg. Here is where you get to really tap into that heart sense of your practice, that feeling vibrating out through your bones. Okay, I'm bending my left knee to bring my right hip down. Okay, right knee bends in, and we return. Okay, let's come back up to this one more time. Whew. This is pretty fun. So what I wanted to add to this, and this is really up to you, and this is going to be a little bit of a core abdominal challenge, which is one of my favorites to do. Lately, I've been doing this with a block. I don't have a block with me right now, so I'm just going to let myself struggle right in front of you. Right, so here we are experimenting with taking the hands off the legs. Right, we've already got our core engaged and our shoulders warm. Now place your hands between your legs. Right, thumbs are touching, fingers spread wide, arms are straight, lean into the hands, and then push the floor away. Your butt's hanging, hovering, legs are out wide. Place it again. Are we mad at that? Can we be mad at that? No. Goodness, no. Feet to the floor, arms to the sky. Let's go knees to the right, hands to the right, touch them to the floor. Left leg back, straight leg, bend the elbows, press back to three-legged dog. Right, here's that little cranky step over. Pick it back up, step the foot outside the hand, and pick up that right arm. Okay, there's your twist. Legs are steady, legs, arms, core, reach, go farther towards that back leg, lift that left arm. Whew. Okay, come back up to warrior two, and then you're gonna take a side angle pose. Elbow to knee, left arm reaching. Okay, here's a switch. We're gonna come back up, wide straddle, arms up to the sky. Take a triangle pose here to the left leg. Here's a little sneaky moment. We're gonna go to a bound side angle pose here. So we were a lifted, modified side angle on the right leg, and this is immediately bound or not bound. It's up to you. Left knee bends, shoulders in the back. Lift of the chin, belly still in. Okay, here's our little tricky. Keep your left arm underneath that left leg. Bow the heart, okay? When you release your arms, hands are to the floor, but you'll notice that the left foot is on the inside of the hand at your left thumb, okay? So that's there for a reason, right? So now when you lift your heels tiptoes, okay, both heels are up, arms are straight, left leg is hugging that left upper arm, and then you can Kundanyasana here. So when you chaturanga the arms, that left leg is on the left upper arm here. And you push back to a three-legged dog. Okay, pull the knee towards your right tricep, straighten the leg. Whee! Here we are, fallen warrior. Right knee bends to bring you to the floor. Wowie zowie, both knees bend. Here we go. Let's take this just a little different direction for a moment. I know everyone wants to hover again, right? I'm just taking a very, very playful version of Baddha Konasana. So the feet together, knees are wide, but this is not a struggle, right? I'm actually tipping right and left to give myself and to encourage you to give yourself a little love right here. So you'll notice when you tip into that side, you go through a whole series, the fanning or panel of the three glute muscles, right? Max, medius, and minimus. And that you'll notice is the relationship to your sacrum, right? The crest of your pelvis and the side of your leg. So in case you care or wonders. All right, so let's do it again. All right, behind the sit bones, go for the feet and for the lift. Right, the arms are hardly sort of the main player in this. This is mostly the hip flexors, the abdominal muscles, and the quads, right? Lifting the legs. Okay, hands to the middle, to the floor in front of you. Feel your thighs lean forward into your forearms, right? Heart tips forward, butt goes up. And you can even feel your butt pulling back, okay? So that's a playful little hover moment of abs. Knees bend. Okay, right? A good time to check in with the wrists. All good. Take your time on that one. No need to get hurt, right? Over the knees to the left, hands to the floor. Right leg back behind you. The knee lifts, toes are tucked, elbows bend. Back. Here's that three-legged dog into a cranky little tap over into your wild thing. Pick it back up. Place left foot outside left hand. Right, I'm coming up to right hand fingertips as I usually do, but this will keep you out of putting too much weight down on that right shoulder, so you don't have to struggle and use sort of the wrong muscles to pick you up from this twist. All right, so this twist is going from the left foot up to a high twist lunge, and then a left hand back to right leg. Right arm up. Okay, when you come back up and through, it's a warrior two to a side angle light. All right, and we've already been deep on this side angle, so it almost feels like, why don't we just bind here? Because. Right, let's come up. We're gonna be straight legs for a moment to triangle first to the right leg. So it's left arm up, both legs straight. Right hand, I have my right hand on my right shin. You could be higher up, you could be lower down. You could be on the foot, you could be light fingertips to the floor. And then your exhale, right knee bends, left arm falls behind you. So you either half bind this or full bind it. So the full bind would be to bring that right arm under the left leg. Woo, hello, beautiful. Okay, you let go of those hands. You've got your arm already tucking under the knee, under the thigh, and to the right of that right ankle, right? Then you go to tiptoes, heels lift, right? You even feel your shoulders and your upper back kind of round a bit. Right foot goes around that right hand so you can half crow it. Push the floor away to three-legged dog. Pull the knee again, up high towards that armpit. Right, straighten the leg. Take a big wide split open into that fallen warrior, right? Really adjust yourself to reach and adjust. your tree and notice the needles are falling off. So maybe I should have been putting some of my drinking water into my tree. I don't know. We're back to the back. This time I want to go knees together. So it's a little cannonball tuck. Now we have a little closer version of those straight legs lift. Okay? So this is gonna be, I have to adjust myself. You might not have to. This is gonna be a little bit more of those abs and that sort of promise to be closer to the floor. So right here, I'm gonna keep my legs straight. Tuck your ribs towards your front of your thighs so that you can slowly roll down to the floor. Take your arms open wide to a T and your head softly to the floor. Okie dokie. So now we're taking straight legs. We're gonna windshield wiper them right and left, but with precision and sort of clarity, right? So we're not gonna force this and be fast. Okay, so first, legs stay together. See if you can take your toes to your left hand. Keep your right shoulder and arm to the floor, right? You gotta press that left arm into the mat to slowly bring it back up through center. Next exhale, we go over to the right. Same idea, stay wide open through the shoulders. So this is a massive twist through your abdominal muscles, your core, your transverse abdominals. Right arm pressed down to get those legs back up. So you notice if you press those arms nice and firmly and wide, it'll actually assist you in this. And you make sure you breathe too. Try to get as close to the hand as possible, to the left. Inhale through center and to the right. Whee! Right, so this really also opens up the length from under your left arm, scapula, left hip, back of the booty. Back up. One more time, we're going to the right, to the left, over nice and smooth. That was kind of quick for me. Come back up, and then to the right. Okay, inhale back up. All right, so now legs are straight up to the sky. Tuck your chin first towards your chest. Okay, and then reach your hands up to touch your toes. Okay, so this is gonna be a nice little climb. You're gonna go reach back for the backs of the thighs. And make sure you're on your mat because this can be a little bit bumpy if you have a wood floor or if you've got your elastics of your shorts somewhere near your sacrum, right? And then you're gonna gently start to push the heels out as you hold where you're holding to your abdominal muscles to pull yourself up to that place we started. Oopsies. And you might fall a little bit, and that's where we giggle and laugh, right? And then eventually we get back to that high boat hug. Legs go a little bit wider. Yeah, we're not gonna do that lift. We're gonna go feet, knees bend. Make sure you're on your mat. Last time through the cycle with just our little extra flair of our finisher. So over that right knee, hands plant. Left leg goes out. We're gonna go, ooh, I just remembered something. Press back to a three-legged dog, open hip, and then to a little cranky, but then full. So you're gonna go cranky step, butt down, and then lift the arm, go for full wild thing. Okay, bring this back. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Okay, so this is something I forgot to do on the second side, so we're gonna double it when we get to the left side, but not right now. So right arm goes up. Arm's gonna reach forward, pull your knee in, tuck elbow and knee. Yeah, and then slide it out in front of you. A little tap down, just for a moment. Pick it back up, step it back. Okay, up, do your twisted high lunge, and right hand down to that back leg, left arm reaching. Awesome, come back up. It's warrior two, and then side angle, just keeping it light. The reason we're keeping it light on one side is because we're gonna turn it more into an abdominal reach. So right arm's gonna reach forward also. So you have side angle with both reaching arms framing the face, heart's nice and open, looking up to the sky. Then straighten the legs, right? Switch on the feet, so you kind of pitch or rotate, pivot on your heels to triangle pose. Awesome. And then in your exhale here, knee bends for your bind. All right, here's our little surprise moment. We're gonna take this to bird of paradise. Okay, so you're gonna look towards that left foot, which is out in front of you. mindful of what's in front of you too, your furniture, like me. And you're gonna see if you can step that right foot all the way up to meet the left foot. So if you need to kind of inch it forward first to get your center of gravity more forward and control, then try or do. Bring the right foot to meet the left. All right, so right here, I'm gonna try and get centered to the camera. It's like you're in a chair pose with a bind on your left leg, right? With a little twist, right? Then you're gonna lift your left heel, push down to the right heel so you can come up to stand. Yeah, and then so you're standing, right? I'm gonna turn to face forward. So it looks like this. So now your left leg is going out to your left. So we're using all the hip openers we did here and also the strength of our open shoulders and chest here. And then if you like to straighten the leg, then do, and there you are. Okay, bend the knee. I'm gonna realign and bring that left foot back down. Keep your bind. Right here, you're gonna shift into your left leg. You're gonna keep that left shoulder hugging your left leg. And you're gonna sweep that right leg back, up and open. So it's a half moon pose with a full bind. And then you will let those arms go. Right, as you let the arms go, now you're in a version of a standing split. Woo! Just step back. Pretty nice. Left leg goes back, three-legged dog open. And pull that knee high towards the armpit. Straighten the leg. Here's your fallen warrior. Big and awesome as you wish. Yeah, so it's nice to come into that, right? Bend the knees. So that bent knee, you don't necessarily have to do. You can do that with straight legs as we have been before, and from that fallen warrior to the mat. But it's kind of nice to give yourself just a little extra space to be closer to the floor quicker, okay? I'm just sitting behind my sit bones and letting my feet hang. I don't have a huge challenge for us on this sort of center transition because I know this is kind of a big sequence. So I'm happy to have this time together, right? So there we go. Let's do a little of this one. And then you bend your knees, right? Left side, so to the left. Boom. Hands to the floor. Awesome. Right leg, knee up, elbows bend, press back. Three-legged dog. Remember, this is going first, cranky version of our wild thing. Okay, and then when the foot comes down, that's when you sit down for a second, so you get a little moment, and then we're gonna take a full wild thing, right? Okay, bring it back, left leg up, step the foot outside the hand. First, here's a twist. There's gonna be two of these tucks, okay? So you're gonna go first, left arm reach, right knee bend, tap it back, left arm up. This one's the full thread through. Left elbow, right knee, and then push the leg out. Little sit for a moment to be like, yeah, that's not that bad. Okay, tuck it back up, step it back, and pull it up from the left foot to the left arm, back to the right leg, and then reaching through that right arm. Okay, here's a warrior two, and then here's our prep side angle. Okay. Just feeling, knowing, loving, right? Putting some positive thoughts and projections into the places that maybe we're kind of ready to wind down for the day or haven't been stirred up yet. So here they are, smiling into it. Left arm reach. Right, you have a couple breaths here. It's usually 3, right? I didn't cue the breaths here, but you know you should be breathing, right? Whew. Come up, wow. That was more of a burning thigh for me, right? Triangle pose to the right leg. Okay. It's pretty nice. Good with time. Here we are for the bind. Right? It's a half bind or full bind, and of course, you're where you are, so you do what you do, right? So we're in this. This is going to bird of paradise. I'm facing a funny direction, which will be away from you. So I'm going to actually show bird of paradise from the back, if that's at all helpful for anyone to see. All right, so you look towards your right foot, right? Make sure you're secure in your center of gravity, to reach your inhale to step that left foot to meet your right? So I'm gonna turn just to be ready. Lean into your left foot. Right knee is lifting and coming up with you. Yay. Here you are. Here's a nice little moment just to decision make, right? To clear the path. Notice your way, right? Balance your hips. Feel yourself lifted from that left foot, and then choose if you want to straighten that right leg. Okay? That right knee's gonna bend. I'm gonna go back to facing the way I would be and lower where you started. Now, you're still in your bind. You're already got the momentum going. Lean into that right foot. Left leg starts to reach back. Hip open, toes out to the left. Leaning from that left inner thigh through the top of the head forward. Yay. And then you release the arms. Whew. Catching just in time, right? Left hand to the floor. Give yourself a little space to just standing split for a moment. And then just step the left foot back. So you're in low lunge. Woo. Kick the couch. Back to three-legged dog. Yay. All right, pull it in, cross the heart, straighten the leg, reach the left arm, falling warrior, best one yet, right? So feel free to tap into the nuances of this. Be a little stronger in the glutes, a little more lifted in the chest, a little more squeezed and toned through the shoulders, and then a careful place back to the floor. Both knees bend. We're gonna finish this one in a true Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees wide. I'm holding my toes and kind of peeling open the book. The sole, right? This is like the sole of the foot, but we really read sort of the actions of our life through the treads of our feet, right? Our calluses. How much hard work do we do on these feet? Much. Right? Drop the head, close your eyes, tuck your chin. The head doesn't have to come to the feet, but if it naturally does, that's fine. Just notice that it's able to go there for whatever reason it is that you're participating, so it's not just passive, right? So we want to keep our strength with our flexibility and our flexibility with our strength. Whew. And then you inhale to come up. Yay. There we are. Bring your knees together. That's a nice little moment. Right, we didn't have an inversion today, but that's okay. We had a whole lot of hip openings. I hope that landed on you the way it did for me. So I'm feeling goodness, feeling awake, but just right amount of wakefulness, right? So not out in the sky, right on the ground, feeling the moon. Okay, let your hands come together, your heart. Send projections out from your peaceful, clear heart right here, where you are in this great energy that you're holding. Be it for however long this lasts. Send some of this good energy, this feeling, this light out to anyone or all, whoever you feel compelled to connect to right here. Connect to that feeling. Send it out. It's a gift. Right? Namaste. Yay. So good, right? Thanks for coming. Thanks for riding, right? So I guess I'm gonna call this kind of a peaceful flow with a little bit of wild strength, right? Not too powerful. Thanks for being here. Talk soon. Yeah, see you this week. Peace.